Vinyl community, I'm back to do a recent vinyl finds video. It seems nowadays I only do these videos when I'm either sick or I have a holiday, and I do not have a holiday, so I'm sick. It's the only time I got time, I guess. I'm running a fever, but I'm juiced up on aspirins, so listening to videos, taking it easy, laying in the couch, watching film, and thought of making a video. Because I have some stuff stacking up, and wanted to show you guys what I got. Paying tribute to Tom in the background. Tom is a guy that I didn't know about his channel at all. So stumbled upon his channel FXP, and Tom's a great guy. We talked a little bit on Facebook group and Instagram and on YouTube. He has a insane collection. We have I think at least we have a similar taste in music, and so awesome. And I actually gone through all of Tom's videos. It's like 3 years worth of videos, but I've done that, all the jazz related at least, not the hip hop stuff that he's showing. So thank you, Tom, for the entertainment, and if you don't know Tom and Tom's channel, check it out. It's amazing. So moving in, it's mostly jazz, but I'm going to start off with a non-jazz related record that I bought. This is Sleep with Holy Mountain, a reissue from 2015 on the Rake Records. It was originally issued in 1992, and it's stoner rock. It's labeled stoner rock. There's the insert, and it's a ordinary black vinyl, just like I want it to be. And Sleep is a cool band. They only released 2 records, this and the Jerusalem record. The reissues were called The Dope Smoker, and I don't have that, but I'm thinking of buying that too, because this is killer. It's Black Sabbath rock. No one does Black Sabbath as Sleep, and it's all original songs. Very like 70s rock, heavy rock oriented. Check it out if you're interested in that sort of thing. And moving on to the more jazz related, without going full jazz, I finally found a copy of Annette Peacock's I'm the One, an original US press of this on RCA, with that sort of glaring cover. It's just fantastic. Look at that cover, man oh man. And you have Paul Bley on here, and Arto Moreira, I never pronounced that right, and Rick Murata, and a bunch of guys. And let's see the songs. Pony is the most famous one on this one, and that's a great song, but there's not a bad song on this. Her technique in singing and the compositions of the songs are just so fascinating, really quirky, a little bit avant-garde-ish, psychedelic jazz, I don't know, shit. And the song I'm the One is also really good, and she does a killer version of Elvis' Love Me Tender on this also. So yeah, Annette Peacock, I'm the One. Glad to add that to the collection. Moving on to some Scandinavian stuff. Finally scored a copy of this. I had this like 3 years ago or something like that, but I sold it because I bought a huge batch of records with a friend, and we wanted to split the money. We couldn't split this, so I've been looking for a copy since. And the sleeve is or the cover is kind of beat, but the record is in great condition. Moose Loose, Älgen är lös. The Moose is Loose is the title of it. 1974 jazz rock with a hint of funk from Norway. Really nice with that custom label there with the moose on it. So in the jazz prog kind of Scandinavian section, this is a must-have. Fantastic, really good. They have guitar, bass, drums, mini moog, organ, so you can guess the sort of vibe on here. And they actually says here on the backside, Paul on drums and gong, and they borrowed the gong from Terje Rypdal and Jon Christensen. Thought that was a kind of cool detail there. Another big, huge one for a while is Egba's self-titled first release. The Swedish fusion band Egba that blends a little bit of world music, and I think the reason is Amon Jar, who's on this. Ulf Aråker, Ulf Andersson, Stefan Brolund, Harald Svensson, Jan Tolf, and Claes Wang on drums there. And this is on Sonnet. They released 2 records in the same year in 1974, and this is on that Sonnet label. There's also one on the kind of bluish. So I don't know if this is maybe the second press, but if it is, I couldn't find any information about it, and it was released the same year. Fantastic record. Check this out. You can check it out on YouTube. I think there's some tracks there. So since my first visit at Anders' place some years ago now, and also watching his absolute first video on YouTube, I wanted this record, and I looked for it, but with the shipping and everything, I always hesitated. But when I bought Moose Loose from a store in Gothenburg and ordered it on Facebook from their store, I saw this in the background, and it was a great price, so I bought it. This is the Norwegian group The Thing with Bag It from 2009, recorded in 2008. And this is a free jazz record with Mats Gustafsson. Yeah, it's killer. So damn awesome. I've listened to it online many times since I listened to the Anders' place, and he showed it to me. I think it's Drop the Gun that I would recommend you starting with. It's heavy as fuck. So The Thing, Bag It, really, really good. And continuing on to something that's not good at all is, for a buck, I found Pat Metheny group, American Garage. This is his first release as the Pat Metheny group, and you have Lyle Mays, Mark Egan, and Don Gottlieb on this one, ECM 1155, 1979. This is awful, and it sounds just like the photo on the backside. This cheesy kind of almost boundary of 80s kind of jazz, fusion, jazz, funk, I don't know. It's just super awful. And that is going to kind of a sell-off pile or something like that, but it's not worth anything. So not even, I guess, the buck I gave for it. Bought some record a while ago, and he threw in this for free on account of other stuff I bought. Jazz Giants, and I don't like these sort of compilations otherwise, but on side A on record 2 you have 2 songs by Don Cherry and Gatto Barbieri, and the third track on the same side is Ghosts by Albert Eiler, as you can see there. And you also have the entire first record is Chicoria, and then it's John Handy on the B-side on. So just having Ghost, I think it's I can't remember how this sounded now. It's a while since I played it, but I think it's a live cut of Ghosts by Eiler, and also live cuts by Sherry. There's very little information to be found on these kind of Jazz Giants releases, and to be fair, it's not a super interesting kind of comp to get into, but Eiler and Sherry on a comp for free, I mean, can't complain. This is a record that blew my mind, and just because, especially for one song, we get requests by the Oscar Peterson trio. This is from 1970, like 72, 74, but it was released 1964 originally on Verve. And the reason is I can't get enough of the first song on the second side, You Look Good to Me. It's one of the best jazz songs I've ever heard. It's just so damn good. And I can't remember where I heard it the first time. I know I heard it somewhere and it just blew my mind. It sounds so I don't know if the word is contemporary, but it's just like, it sounds really like it could be made today. You could never guess it's 1960, 64. How they start off with the piano, almost like a classical piece, and just then builds around that. And the trio is fantastic. You got Oscar Peterson, Ed Thigpen, and who's the guy on bass there? Shit. I don't know who's on bass. It doesn't say. It's all in the text here. I'm sorry. Check it out if you're interested. But Ed Thigpen is also cool because he had a period where he went to Scandinavian and did some stuff. He did a drum kind of record on Sonnet called Reaction, and I think he lived and died in Denmark. And finally, when I bought that record, the Oscar Peterson Trio, that was a kind of package deal on Swedish eBay, on Tradera. And it wasn't that record I wanted per se. It was these 3 records, so that was like thrown in the mix. But a fantastic package for very little money. And I'm going to show you them chronologically as they were recorded. First off, Jan Johansson, Younger Than Springtime, released 1972, but recorded 1959 and 60. Yeah, 59 and 60. And this is on Jan Johansson and Arne Domnerius with Jan Johansson Trio and Arne Domnerius Quartet. Yeah, really, really good Jan Johansson record, and nice to add to my now growing Jan Johansson collection. Next up, and this was the one I really, really wanted, is In a Trio by Jan Johansson Trio. One that I wanted for a while, and one that I think is one of his best, in my opinion. Really, really good. The trio is Incl, Johansson, Georg Riedel och Jan Johansson. Fantastic record, and recorded 1962. And finally, again, I have a copy of Jazz på Svenska. I seem to throw mine away as VCLTs all the time, because every person interested in jazz needs this record. It's not only one of the best jazz records recorded in Sweden, it's one of the best records ever that came out from Sweden. And this is Jan Johansson and Georg Riedel, so a duo record, just piano and bass, which it's just fantastic. That's not a bad song on here. And Visa från Utan Myra, which is the most famous one, is the best, but in my opinion. But Visa från Rättvik, Gång, lek från Upptecknad i Älvdalen, Polska från Medelpad. Just fantastic record, and recorded in 1964. Now, Jan Johansson died in 1968 in a car crash, but he was a hard-working jazz musician and recorded a lot of stuff, released before his death and definitely after also, like the first one I showed you, Younger Than Springtime, released in 1972, so after his death. I actually bought the biography of Jan Johansson. It's on Swedish, unfortunately. I don't think it's ever been released in English. Tiden och musiken av Erik Kjellberg. A men's book about Jan Johansson, but fantastic. He's just started recording now, so it's more or less, I've only read about his upgrowing and stuff like that. So that's it, 14 minutes. Yeah, I hope you dug the records, and leave me comments if you have any, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.